us look at these quotes. Bhakti during the times of severe calamity. In the past 200 years, 7 cholera epidemics, pandemics means global epidemic, have killed millions across the globe. This, however, is not the first time in history that calamities have befallen this planet. If we see the history of the world in the past few centuries, too fast. If we see the history of the world in the past 2 centuries, we find it full of such calamities. India itself, in the past 500 years, has had its share of famines and epidemics. Now there is a quote from one book which is long and I don't want to read it. It describes different calamities in India during the history, and it lists the years where it happened in the past few hundred years. Such situations very much require a philosophical and scriptural perspective, and Shastra, Scripture, is present to instruct us about all aspects of human life. Shastra advises us what to do in situations of calamity in the Mahabharata. Sri Narada Muni speaks the following words to Sri Shuka without dealing with calamities that affect scores of people simultaneously. Na jana padikam dukham eka shochitu marhati ashochan pratikurvita yadi pashet upakrama. This is from the Mahabharata. For calamities that have fallen upon entire states, no single person should take anxieties. You understand this?
No.
No?
Excuse me.
For calamities that have fallen upon entire states. You understand?
So what is the word calamity?
Calamity is... you can go to Sebastian if you don't understand something, because I cannot explain to you everything you don't understand. He can explain to you something.
Wonderful.
Without anxieties, everyone should attempt to implement a solution that is available in sight. This is from Mahabharata. In fact, such practicality is recommended in the same chapter of the Mahabharata. Pragyaya manasam dukkam hanyach chariram aushadaihi. One should destroy mental distresses through one's intelligence and bodily distresses through medicines. So it says, okay, keep some distance, it's okay. It says that one should, listen, this is very important, one should destroy mental distresses through intelligence. And this is why we are discussing these things, to connect to some spiritual intelligence so that we can understand and get a spiritual perspective on what is happening. Otherwise we will be like everybody else, always full of anxiety, full of fear, and we don't need that because we have a higher knowledge. One big obstacle is fear of death. Everybody is afraid of death now because anybody can get the virus and die. And devotees, usually they are not afraid of death because they know if they die, they will continue serving Krishna in next life. So one should destroy mental distresses through one's intelligence and bodily distresses through medicines.
first thing?
One should destroy mental distresses through one's intelligence. That's important to translate. Now, he is posing some questions. He's posing some questions and answering them. I don't know in whose name. He is asking in everybody's name probably. Should one put one's ultimate faith in the physicians or doctors who create such medicines? Should one put one's faith in the physicians or doctors who create such medicines? Not at all. Narada Muni says after a few verses in Mahabharata, Techapi nipuna vaidyaha kushala sambritausadaha vyadibi parikrishyante mriga vyadair vivarditaha. These extremely intelligent, expert doctors who collect various medicines are themselves hunted down by various diseases, just as poor animals are hunted down by hunters. So this is indication, this is the instruction that be careful with mundane doctors. Be careful if you believe, if you trust, if you believe mundane doctors. A devotee should understand that taking care of all practicalities, taking medicines, cleansing the body with soap regularly, distancing the body from infected people, etc., are good precautionary measures recommended in Shastra. The devotee should also know that all knowledge for curing diseases also comes from Krishna, Mata Smriti Jnana. All remembrance and knowledge comes from me. This is from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Moreover, it should be understood that the root cause of all this is material nature, Maya, who causes these diseases as well as cures them. Now, how can material nature cure diseases? We know that it creates diseases, but the question is now, how can material nature cure diseases? Narada Muni answers this question with his own question. Keva bhuvi chikitsante rogartan mriga pakshinaha shvapadani daridramscha prayo narta bhavanite. This is also from Mahabharata. Where are there doctors that treat diseases, that treat diseased wild animals, birds, etc.? Even in the absence of doctors for such entities, it is seen that these do not fall sick frequently. So animals don't fall sick so frequently, isn't it? And they don't have doctors. They don't have insurance, medical insurance. But devotees feel pained and helpless when they see such unfortunate situations fall upon the world. When they see such unfortunate situations fall upon the world, can they not do anything about it? It is usually not possible for anyone, devotee or non-devotee, to do anything significant in such situations. In the personal presence of Lord Krishna, the 5 sons of the Pandavas were slaughtered by Ashwatthama. Moreover, millions died in the Kurukshetra war. The Pandavas had to suffer many reversals, and a learned devotee like Vidura was humiliated and driven out of the kingdom of Hastinapur. All this happened when Krishna was personally present. When Krishna was personally manifesting his pastimes on this planet. Now, yet nobody at that time blamed Krishna or asked him to do anything, to do something about it. They all knew the rule that prevails in this material world. Tasmat idam daivatantram vyavasaya bharatarshava. O best among the descendants of Bharata, Yudhishthira, I maintain, therefore, that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto. So nothing moves without the will of the Lord, so this is also the will of the Lord that this is happening. The standard rule of law that applies in the material world is as follows. Yata denu sahasreshu vatso vindati mataram evam purvakritam karma kartaram anugachati achodyamanani yata pushpani cha palani cha svakalam nati vartante tata karma purakritam. As a calf locates its mother among 1,000 cows, locates, finds. Okay. Similarly, previous karma locates the appropriate recipient of the fruit of that karma. Moreover, just as flowers and fruits blossom exactly at their respective times of the year without being requested by anyone, similarly, the fruit of one's previous karma blossoms at a specific moment without anyone's prior request. Mahabharata. Okay, so any questions so far about this? Yes?
So it's like he pre-installed the material world, and this is the rule of the material world of his external energy, and he cannot, or he does not want to do anything about it, as Krishna personified 5,000 years ago.
Who?
Krishna.
He doesn't want to do anything about it.
Yeah, so you say he cannot do anything about it, but he doesn't want to do anything about it.
Well, Krishna can't do anything about anything.
I mean, yes, that's the thing. So
What is your question?
So it's not like when he's incarnated as Krishna in the Kurukshetra war, it's not like he could not do anything about all the people dying and all of that, because there's this rule that we just heard about. It's more like he installed it and it's good how it is. So he's not gonna do anything about it, and he just lets the karma blossom when it wants, and all the things happen how it's according to Maya. He will let it happen, and be aloof still as Krishna personified in this world.
He lets things happen according to karma of people, even when he was personally present. But he's also present now, we just don't see him. He's present in many forms. He's present as a super soul, he's present as a deity or deity. We just don't see him, and he can interfere in the world situation if he wants. But the reason why things are happening like this is that people get serious, including devotees, that they get more serious about spiritual life and about understanding why we are here. And also you can see now, if there is a threat of death, you can see how much you have advanced. If you are still scared that you will die, then it means you are still identifying with the body. But if you are a little bit more fearless and you can help other people to become more fearless, then that means your consciousness has changed by chanting Hare Krishna, by listening to the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, by performing devotional service, by taking prasadam. So all this is meant for our transformation. All this is meant for our getting more serious in spiritual life and in Krishna consciousness. And some people also, they leave their faith when there is things like this. They say, oh, where is the merciful God? You don't translate the answer?
I completely forgot. Yes,
So people ask, where is the merciful God now? People ask, where is the merciful God now when there is trouble? Why doesn't He save us? And God's people ask, and where are you a few weeks ago? And where was your remembrance of God a few weeks ago? Where was your remembrance of God a few weeks ago? Now when you need to be served, you remember God. So now, it says here that at Krishna's time nobody blamed Him, but now people blame Him, I'm sure. And even devotees sometimes scratch their head and think, oh, we are devotees, so, okay, for now not so many devotees are suffering, but one devotee died from coronavirus in England. At least that was published. It was published. It was announced that he died. Maybe more devotees died, but we don't know. So this is a situation where the faith is tested, and then you can see how much you understand what's happening and what is the purpose of this. So people who are not in knowledge, they blame God. They say, why, how can He do this? How can I believe in such a God? How can I believe in such a God who allows such things to happen? So many people are dying. Poor people. And a few weeks ago, you didn't even think of God. You were just absorbed in sinful sense gratification. Sinful. Which will bring you more reactions. So worse than losing the body, than dying, so-called dying, is actually losing your consciousness, losing your soul, losing your understanding who you are, and losing the understanding of what is the purpose of this world. And the purpose of this world is training or retraining us to be servants and not enjoyers. So when we have this understanding, we can go out amongst people and tell them what's happening. And now people's ears are a little bit more open now to hear something like this. Bhakta Vedran, you know Vedran? Bhakta Vedran told me some people are, circling around him, like avoiding him, like walking 5 meters around him, because he want to give them something in their hands. And some people are curious. They say, what do you have? Some people are curious. What do you have? What is this? And he says this is antivirus. This explains. This is antivirus book. So Prabhupada's books can be advertised with anything, even now, with antivirus, because they are. And yesterday we spoke so much about epidemics. we wrote Prabhupada's quotes about epidemics, and he says the most dangerous epidemics is actually Krishna consciousness. And even in the past, politicians were afraid that devotees will take over governments. So Prabhupada says it's spreading like a wildfire. It's spreading like a wildfire. And now also there is an opportunity to preach more on the internet. I was thinking, I was walking yesterday, so, you know, we try to avoid people a little bit, walk 2 meters or whatever. And I'm thinking, actually, I was living like this, and I live like this all the time. I also avoid people because sometimes they, you know, stink of cigarettes or alcohol. So avoiding people, I was doing this, and also if you translate for her, then maybe you can sit there. Only for her, you can sit there. Oh, you also for him? Oh, he is going. Ah, okay. Oh, it's okay. No, oh, sorry, I don't want to manage your translation. It's okay. Then also now you can see that more and more there is a demand for online preaching. And I was living like this also. I mean, most of my preaching is online. I give class here and there, or course. Now here, because I'm so long, I'm giving, this is the 4th seminar. But usually I don't speak so much locally, but actually online. And now they ask for more online classes, not only from me, but from others also. So it's an opportunity to be present on the internet, because now everybody is on the internet and they're at home. And usually they're listening about the virus, but they should listen about Krishna. And also about different kind of epidemics. So can you imagine the life of a present person? They have to stay at home, watch the TV and watch it and listen about the virus 24 hours a day. What kind of life is this? So we can tell them we have an alternative. Listen about Krishna virus. This will bring you some special benefit. Why does Bhagavan not do anything to stop this entire suffering? Here's the question. Why does Bhagavan doesn't do anything to stop this suffering? He doesn't interfere in the free will of the living entities who are disinclined to him or not inclined to him, and who wish to misuse their free will to exploit the world. Prabhavanti ugra karmanaha kshayaya jagato hitaha. Such individuals engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Bhagavad Gita. Divine and Demoniac Nature, chapter 16. Krishna lets them misuse their free will, and that gives them a suitable reaction through his agency named Maya. Prasakta kama bogeshu patanti narakeshu chau. These individuals become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into rotten hell. Bhagavad Gita 16:16. Now another question. But why is it seen sometimes that devotees too become affected by such calamities and disturbances, such as diseases, epidemics, etc.? Usually, devotees are rarely affected by any external calamities. In some cases, when they are affected, the previous acharyas have spoken about it. Srila Jiva Goswami has clearly said in the Bhakti Sandarbha, Atraivam Chintyam Bhagavad Bhakti Antaryakam Samanyam Arabdha Karma Na Bhavitum Arhati Durbalatvat Tata Prachina Paradatmakam Eva Tal Labhyata Indradyum Nadinam Iveti. In regards to the devotees' disturbances, it should be understood that ordinary karma can never be the cause of any disturbance in the devotee's life. Since such karma is very weak in front of bhakti. So this is very important. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhaja. Krishna reduces karma of a devotee. So karma is weak in front of bhakti. Now, only due to some previously committed aparad or offense, the devotee receives some disturbance. Due to offenses, devotee receives disturbance in his bhajan. Just as King Indradyumna became elephant, named Gajendra, due to aparad committed towards Agastya Muni. This offense is described in the 8th canto.
Offense towards whom?
Agastya Muni. So you do understand. So devotees don't get karma, they can actually, because of offenses, they get some reactions. But Krishna is significantly reducing karma of devotees. Otherwise, for a devotee, there is absolutely no inauspiciousness in any circumstance.
Question now or later?
Oh yeah, you can explain.
What are the ways in which one can offend devotees?
All this we have to discuss later.
Okay.
Remember it. Srila Jiva Goswami quotes the following verse from the Vishnu Sahasranama. Ma Vasudeva Bhaktanam Ashubham Vidyate Kvachit. At any time, there is nothing inauspicious for devotees of Vasudeva. This is verse quoted in commentary to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Jiva Goswami apparently commentary. And now important question. Should a devotee worry about anything? No. The answer. Devotees who have surrendered themselves to the Lord should never ever worry about anything. In one of his compositions, Sri Vallabhacharya says, Chinta kapi na karya nivedi tatmabi kadapiti Bhagavan api pushtishto na karishyati laukikim jagatim. Individuals who have surrendered themselves to Krishna should never engage in any worries at any moment. Listen to this now, this is incredible. Even Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, will not be able to make the surrendered devotee fall into the quagmire, into the, ocean of worldly existence. So even Krishna cannot make you fall into worldly existence if you are surrendered. But Krishna, of course, he would never do that.
Yeah, it's like the developer made the computer, and once some stuff is deleted, he cannot bring it back.
Yes. He also promised. He promised, if someone surrenders unto me, I protect him. Now, something is coming important for us. Of course, if a devotee has not fully surrendered, then they should have some healthy anxiety about their incomplete surrender. So this is our anxiety. It's not our anxiety, I mean, we should clean our hands, but our anxiety is not coronavirus. Our anxiety is that our surrender is incomplete. This is the anxiety. They have a wrong anxiety. In the material world, you have to be in anxiety about something. But they have a wrong anxiety. Now this is the right anxiety. Why should we be in anxiety? So, what should the devotee pray for in such calamitous situations of calamity? Now, Vallabhacharya says that praying in these situations shows that you don't have faith. It's a strange answer. So, usually we think that if you have faith, you should pray. But here, it takes it a step further. That if you have faith, you don't pray, because you know that He sees and He will protect you. Pratite vatata kim syat svamya vipraya samshayat. What is the use of praying to the Lord in such situations? His desire is never known to anyone in any situation. Again, Vallabhacharya. The commentator named Sri Gopishvara further elaborates and says, the commentator named Gopishvara further explains, Bhagavan svachayaiva dasyati nanyatati kim artam swadharma hani kartavya. The Lord engages everything by His desire. The Lord engages everything by His desire. Being uninfluenced by any other factor, why should the devotee unnecessarily spoil his service attitude by praying and trying to change the mind of the Lord? So this is the Lord's will, and we want to change His mind. We pray to Him, please stop this. And Vallabhacharya says, this is wrong. And the question, then what should devotees do? Nice question. Then what should devotees do? If they shouldn't pray for protection. The devotees should confidently carry on with their duties of Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. while taking basic practical precautionary measures that do not overshadow their bhakti.
That do not
Overshadow. They do not inflict or spoil their bhakti or affect their bhakti. So basic precautionary measures, but they should not overshadow their bhakti. So for example, if people say, well, you have to have a bath in alcohol because it's antiseptic.
Yes.
So this is against the principle of bhakti. Did you find it?
Überschatten.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, overshadow.
So we take precautionary measures, but they don't overshadow bhakti. They don't affect negatively our bhakti. And precautionary measures are also given because of Krishna's knowledge. Krishna is given. And those who have greater faith, they should never stop with activities of bhakti. And ultimately, devotee is not afraid even if Krishna wants him to die. And now, the last verse from the Bhagavatam. Dvijo pasrishta kutakas takshako va dashatvalam gayata vishnugataha. King Parikshit said, let the snake bird. Let the snake bird. May the snake bird. Or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created. Bite me at once. Bite me. Let the snake bite me. Let the snake bite me. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds, the activities, singing about the activities of Lord Vishnu. So we see that Maharaj Parikshit is fearless. He is fearless. Can you tell them to put it lower? Because I cannot concentrate. We see that Maharaj Parikshit is fearless. Maharaj Parikshit is fearless. He said, okay, let the death come. And what is his determination? His determination is to continue glorifying the Lord. So now this discussion is giving us some framework how we can think in this situation. Some Shastric reference. And it also gives us courage. It also gives us courage. And it's very important to read the Shastra during these times. But we can have a higher consciousness, higher knowledge, and higher intelligence. Otherwise we will be confused with everybody else. And whenever you have an opportunity, you can tell people what is the truth. That this is not an accident. Not an accident, what's happening. And it's a responsibility of every individual to get more serious about human form of life. So whenever you have a chance to talk to people online, offline, you can tell them. Because people now, they don't know what's happening. Even people who believe in God, they may lose their faith if they don't understand that this is all for everybody's common good. It's all for everybody's common good. Okay, so do you have any questions about this second part of reading that I have done? Yes?
Yes, so maybe can you give us some ideas what can we pray in this situation?
What can we pray for?
Yeah.
We pray for more surrender. That we can surrender more.
Yeah.
We pray that we understand, that we are able to understand what's happening, what is behind all this. And these discussions are helping us to get to the right conclusion. What's happening? To have a proper perspective. Then you can be peaceful. You know what to do, you know what's happening, you know Lord is there. And you reduce your fear of death. Shastra reduces fear of death. Shastra gives you courage. Transcendental knowledge gives you courage. Holy name gives you courage. I have one friend, new devotee. She's always singing the holy name. And I noticed that she's not afraid of this situation. Very young, she's very young, but she's not afraid at all. And her parents are afraid, friends are afraid, but she's not afraid. But she's always chanting, always singing, reading sometimes. Okay, any other? Oh, you have a question?
Yeah, but I have a different question now again.
And what was the other one?
Other one was regarding Vaishnava Aparadha. So, what are the possible ways in which one can end up offending Vaishnavas?
Okay. Okay, let's first do this one. Which are the possible ways in which one can offend Vaishnavas? So you tell me. Let's discuss together. So you tell me first. What do you think?
There are verbal offenses one can do by harsh words or abusing them, like talking something bad about them or maybe talking behind their back. And second is one can do some physical offenses.
So with body, with words, also you can make offenses in the mind. You can criticize in the mind or make offenses in the mind. So body, mind and words. These are three ways in which one can offend. You can hit a devotee maybe, or offend how he looks like. Usually we make offenses with words, and in mind we don't beat devotees very often. But sometimes devotees fight, they even have a physical fight, but it's rare. Sometimes they have a physical fight. That's very rare. But verbal fights are not rare. Maybe nowadays maybe a little bit more rare, I don't know. So verbally, and what also we can have, like, we can think I'm better than them, I'm better than others. That's very dangerous to think we are better than others, even if we are better in behavior. But Krishna doesn't appreciate when we think that we are better than others. If you judge a devotee by their looks, by their country of origin, by their social class, this is all offensive. It's all offensive. So every devotee should respect it, no matter on which level he is, or where is he from, or how he looks like, or what is his age. Every devotee should be respected. And that's also, this is a very important point, that we should be more afraid of offending devotees than afraid of death. You know who came to this conclusion in the Bhagavatam? King Raghugana. He thought that Jadabharata is an ordinary person. Then he realized, oh my God, he's a Paramahamsa. And I was, telling him this and that and offending him. And he realized, this is worse than death. Better I die than I offend a Vaishnava or a sadhu. So this, we should be afraid of that. And sometimes, devotees criticize gurus and on the internet or whatever. We don't know who is who. How can we know who is who and who is who? Of course, if somebody is obviously doing something wrong, we have to say something or we have to ask or report. That's another thing. But generally, one should be very careful in criticizing anybody. Even, criticizing materialistic people. Prabhupada did it because to help us understand that we are like this. But he didn't enjoy criticizing materialistic people. And we shouldn't imitate Prabhupada and then always just criticize materialistic people. Okay, second question.
At one point we say that everything is happening as per the will of Krishna. At the second point we also discuss about free will of living entities. So how this both are synchronizing with together.
Krishna is giving space for the free will, and what's happening by his will is the results, reactions. But he is giving space. He doesn't control your free will because he gave you a free will, which is minor. So this is what he's not controlling, because otherwise you will be like stone. Otherwise we will be like stone. If we don't have at least some free will, we will be like stone. And there is no question of voluntary loving relationship. So it's just, it doesn't make sense. Is that clear? Okay. Yes?
No, so excuse me, I didn't understand. You said that we have a free will, but the result has Krishna.
We have a free will to choose what we will do, but results are controlled by Krishna and by our karma.
So actually it doesn't matter what I choose to do.
It matters because one type of activity brings you one result according to Krishna's law, and one type of activity brings you another result according to Krishna's law, or law of karma. So it matters what you do, because what you do, this is what you get. As you sow, so shall you reap. The Bible. So we are responsible for our actions. And for not, yeah. And we will accept the reactions. We will get consequences of our actions. Okay? Yes?
So I have a question, and I would like to know what the kinds of sins there are in Veda,
Sins.
Vedas, yes. What the kind of sins?
Eating meat,
Eat meat?
fish, and eggs is sinful. Smoking, taking all kinds of intoxication is sinful. Then gambling is sinful, and illicit sexual relationships are sinful. And killing is sinful also. Lying is sinful. But these are basic, simple activities that we are asked to avoid, to not do. We call these 4 regulative principles. 4 regulative principles. I mean, if you just follow these 4 principles and chant 16 rounds, you put yourself in a top 2% or 3% on the planet. It's a big step forward. Okay, so we can take some, if you have to go, you can go, but I'm going to play a little bit, a few minutes. Thank you very much. So we will continue tomorrow and until Friday, and maybe, I don't know, we will see what we will do other days during the weekend. But we can continue these discussions, and also, there is not everybody here, maybe I should say this in the morning. Tomorrow I will speak in class in the morning. I wanted to propose something. Maybe you who are here, I mean, you can think about it, that it would be nice if devotees would give classes. Those who are here, in the evening, Bhagavad Gita class, it can be short, 20 minutes. So, to practice preaching. Now it's a good time. And I can listen to you, I can give you feedback. So we do some training and coaching for preaching. And when the epidemic stops, then you go full speed out and preach. So we can do some preacher training. I can give you some basic tips how to prepare. And then you can sit. Or we can, if you are embarrassed to be the only speaker, maybe we can have 2-3 speakers per session, where everybody speaks for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, something like that. And like if we have half an hour, each 10 minutes, that's 30 minutes, and then we have a discussion also. But those who are here can prepare a verse or a purport or a section and speak in front of others. In this way, you can practice. I will not force anybody to do this, but it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to actually, it's like putting small fish in a bigger aquarium. So you can grow a little bit, become a bigger fish. Bigger but more humble, not more puffed up. Okay, so now we will stop this and start again with the music.